Normally, you can see that a typical model has been developed first. That is invention. And go on bringing the new versions of it is incremental innovations. Adding new features to any product. Without that, the customer choice is, will be focused, will be shifted to some other product. Okay. So like that, several companies, we have live examples of several companies have lost their business and almost they closed down. The companies who are continuously, thinking about this and incremental innovation developments, they have been surviving because they are able to match the customer needs. In fact, the continuous improvement must be a part of the organization. This is, we call it as in Japanese word, kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement. The process of relentlessly trying to find ways to improve and enhance a company's product or processes from design through assembly, sales, service. It is called kaizen. It is usually associated with incremental innovation. For example, Toyota has brought a tool to do this, that is a Six Sigma process. Six Sigma process is a rigorous and analytical approach to quality and continuous improvement with an objective to improve profits through defect reduction, yield improvement, improved customer satisfaction, and best in class. They're all partly associated with the innovation activity. And several other companies have conceptualized the Six Sigma and converted that into their own practice and brought up several variety of other procedures and tools to maintain or to do this continuous improvement. We also have the breakthrough in innovation. Suddenly a new product has been brought into this product. A breakthrough innovation is an innovation in a product or process or a technology or a cost associated with it that represents a quantum leap forward in one or more of these ways. You see the drone. A drone is a breakthrough. Cell phone, invention of a cell phone is a breakthrough. So several, an Android phone, invention of Android phone is a breakthrough. They're all being called as breakthroughs in 20th century. They are in 21st century, and all those things, how they changed the life of us today, that it is because of the technological innovations and technology improvement and the variety of products out of these technology innovations, we are enjoying it. So it is this kind of breakthrough is from idea to product. If you have a good idea and you nurture the idea and then you bring a product out of it, and that is a breakthrough kind of thing. It is always associated with a lot of things like, market research. You don't do market research, you don't do risk. A lot of risk is associated with the breakthrough innovations, but they are really good. Really, breakthrough innovation, if it is a successful innovation, and the particular the innovator will get lot of incentives and lot of royalty out of his invention. So this process now being widely understood by the universities and institutes of higher learning are encouraging their students to do work in this direction. I request Shankar and his team to continuously identify some problems, practical problems, because we are working in a agricultural based district. A lot of agricultural problems are existing and they are not unaddressed. And now you can take up some kind of exercise of identifying good problems, practical problems, and try give it to our students, give it to our young faculty members. Let them nurture those things and come out with a good idea. They can have their startup. And once again, I wanted to tell you here one important thing that from this year onwards, let us identify such kind of novel ideas and let us invest. I am definitely from the institute side. I will award 5 lakhs rupees for a startup. If you have a good idea, a sellable idea, and a marketable idea, and a product-oriented idea, then definitely institute will give a project of 5 lakhs to convert that idea into practicality. That invention must be incubated, and if it is definitely holds for a startup, let the student will start up, and the student teacher or the student mentor will also get good laurels. So I request, as long as time as possible, if you if you plan and spend in the area of innovation, the more and the more benefit, rich reaps of benefits, you will definitely get it. And all those benefits will definitely put us, all of us, NIT Andhra Pradesh, into a state of institutions. And Andhra Pradesh also would be improving. And entire thing is nation improves because of your innovations. And this is much, much, much needed. And I request all of you to take this job of innovation and incubation as one of the primary concerns of you. I request the organizers to spare good amount of time on this and bring good people and listen to them, and how best you can develop this process, the conception, you can further improve this thing in our institution. It's up to you. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best once again for this innovation and incubation center, okay, and entrepreneur on the day of this entrepreneurs day of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a very informative session. Of course, your presidential address has given or enlightening us in the areas of innovation, entrepreneurship, and incremental innovation, it's Kaizen. And you have also set up a roadmap for us in designing various events in the ENISL. I thank for agreeing to give 5 lakhs for the startups. It is really motivating for young entrepreneurs of NIT Andhra Pradesh. Thank you, sir. Before closing the session, I request Dr. Premalata to introduce the E&I members of the academic year 21-22.
Thank you, Sindhu sir. Some of our EISL members today they are going to present on the cases of failure and success entrepreneurs. Those students are Gayatri Suresh, Raju Yadav, Sadia Samrin, Ritvik, and Alok. These are the 5 students who have chosen different startups, how they have succeeded, and they are going to speak about the journey of these particular entrepreneurs and how they become success and what are the reasons for some of the failures of some of the entrepreneurs also they are going to speak. I hope students you are available. We will start the session. Give me a minute. Once we'll close this inaugural session, we'll start with our presentations. So please be available wherever the good internet connection is there. And audience, please kindly wait. And thank you for your patience. And please be seated in wherever you are. with respect to the conclusion of this particular inaugural event, and we'll go ahead with the presentations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. So before closing the session, I formally will be proposing the vote of thanks. Um, uh, I thank our honorable director, Professor C.S.P. Rao, for attending the inaugural function. I thank Registrar Dr. P. Dinesh Shankar Reddy, and I thank heads, deans, and my colleagues who has joined this event. And I thank the student participants, and especially my thanks to Dr. Premlata, so who is behind and she is front in organizing this kind of events. So thank you all. So thank you. So after this, then we'll be starting the actual program. So with this, we have closed the inaugural ceremony. So thank you all for joining. So all of you, please, no. So let me take a photo session just before closing the session. Just we can have just start your video once. So turn on your video. So all of you, please turn on your video to take one snap. I request all the participants to please show your video so that we will take one picture. Please turn on your video. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You can turn off the video. Now we will be moving to the official the program. I request Dr. Premlata to take over.
Thank you, sir. Gayatri, are you available, ma'am?
Shall I start, ma'am?
Yeah, please switch on your video and go ahead.
Ma'am, you can see my screen, ma'am.
Yes, you can. You continue.
Good evening, one and all. I am Gayatri Suresh. On this occasion of Vandana Luthra, entrepreneur, founder of VLC, also chairperson of Beauty Council. Presentation what VLC about Vandana Luthra's early life and education, how Vandana Luthra is a great philanthropist, her publications and achievements and awards. What is VLC? This Vandana Luthra Curls and Skills. Started in 19 the Beauty and Wellness Service Center, Safdarjung Development Area, offers weight management and today it operates in around 153 to 13 countries in South with working with over 4,000 employees. The company also manufactures over 170 beauty products. Limited also operates vocational training institute, Institute of Beauty and Nutrition, which has grown as the largest chain of education academic in the sector, training over 10,000 students annually. Vandana Luthra was born on 12 July 1960 in Delhi. Educated family, her father was a mechanical engineer and her mother was an Ayurvedic doctor who was running a charitable trust. Desire to impact people's lives right from her childhood. When she went to Germany with her father, she noticed that the health and wellness flourished over there. Yeah, it was almost an untouched subject. This inquisitiveness motivated her to pursue diploma and undergraduate program in beauty. Also had the vision to start an outlet for health and wellness in India. For this, she completed her studies in nutrition cosmetology in Germany, then set up the first VLC center in Safdarjung Enclave in New Delhi in 19. Now, Vandana Luthra is not only a successful entrepreneurship but also a great philanthropist. Vice chairperson of the NGO takes the projects like telemedical centers, a remedial midday meal and vocational training centers. Member of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga and the Student Committee and the subcommittee formed by India's Ministry of Youth Development the Pradhan Mantri Social Vikas Yojana. Patron of Amar Jyoti Charitable Trust. Also pioneered the concept of education without disability equal numbers from nursery to 8th class age. Also have trust now which has over 800 children to schools. Vandana Luthra not only being a philanthropist but also authored 2 books in her sector with a complete fitness program in 2011 and also a good life in 2013. What are the awards and achievements? Vandana Luthra has received the 4th top award for excellence and entrepreneurship for the year. Also awarded India's 4th highest civilian honor Padma Shri in 2013 for her contribution to. Other notable awards include the Forum Trailblazer Award in 2012, the Enterprise Asia Women's Award in 2010, Mudra was ranked 26th in first Asia 26 list of 50 power businesses APAC region, which only featured 8 Indian women, which Vandana Ludra was among them. Fortune magazine annual list of the 50 most powerful women in business for 5 years in a row from 2011 to now. We will see a short clipping on how Vandana Ludra motivates Harvard students in Boston.
Hi Gayatri, the audio is not proper.
You can't hear the audio. You can't hear the audio.
Yes, it is not audible.
Can you check now? Can you hear it now?
No,
Still you can't hear it?
no.
Can you hear the sound or no?
The sound of the video is not audible.
One minute. Yeah, so the video is not audible, so I'm ending my session here with a saying that you can with a saying that you have to see failure as the beginning and the middle, but never entertain it as an end. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Now Raju Yadav is going to give his presentation. Raju Yadav, I hope you are available. Yeah, Raju, you can start.
Raju, unmute yourself.
Raju, you are not audible. Please unmute.
Yes, Raju, you're audible.
Okay, okay. Should I continue? Hello?
Please continue and go ahead with your presentation.
So, Rahul Yadav was born in Alwar, a small town of Rajasthan. He was a very good in studies from the earlier. He was a topper in his schools in 10th, 12th. And he got cleared IIT Bombay with the metallurgical department. He was very keen interested in organizing the things, organizing event, participating in many extra curriculum activities. And he became the secretary of the student association. And in the first year or in the beginning of the college, he created a website that is exambaba.com. It was about a question paper bank of the previous year of IITs along with the answers. But later it was asked to shut down because of some rules and regulation of the college. But it angered him. And in the last year, in the fourth year, he went to the internship in Israel. But later he decided to quit, to drop out from the college. But his friends, his colleague advised him to continue with it. As it was the last year, he can manage it. But he clearly mentioned in the interview, I listened it, it was, he want to keep clarity with him. He want to be very crystal clear what he have to do. He's not going to be distracted with all other things. So he told that if he will have the degree, then he may get the intention to work, to go through for the job. So this was the reason he thought to drop out. He will not have a degree, then he will not think about it. So he will have only one option, no any plan B, and he will work for it, and he will, and surely what he thought and he did, that was left the college. So now the journey begins about the housing.com from here. He left the college along with his friend, that is Advitya, who was the co-founder of and the housing.com. They both went nearby the college. They were started searching some houses for the rent. They found a lot of difficulties in it. It was a place poverty. They found a lot of difficulties in finding, and they took it as an opportunity and to work upon it to make it some innovative and to solve the problem. As the Rahul Yadav was a very problem solver. He was a very creative thinking. It was mentioned by one of his colleague about him in the Quora. So along with his friend Advitya, they started working upon it. As he was the web developer, he was very enthusiastic in the web developing. So now he came to know about the real estates. He thought to make it online, to create some portal, online portal, so that it can be easy for the people to access, to get wherever they want, any room or any accommodation where they want to live. So they thought to make one portal that was housing.com. Initially, they was working as a broker. They were providing the rent to the peoples, and they were earning about 1 lakh every month. It was the beginning of it, but they changed their mind. They shifted to the classified listing, and there the housing.com was born. What was the goal and the mission and the vision of the housing? So the first thing was, Rahul Yadav was very clear with him. He want to spread this startup. He want to help to the every Indians. Means he want to spread throughout the India. And second thing was, he want to spread throughout the world. He want to make his market throughout the world. And what was his goal? He wanted to make the real estates. He don't want to keep any mediators between the peoples are going to be cheated or something else. So he want to keep a transparency between the peoples and the renters, those who are going to provide the rent. So he make a housing.com. It was really very successful in this. So it was the journey. It was his thoughts. It was his initial stage. So after the 6 months in 2013, he raised his first funding, and that was by the angel investor. He got funded. And the second time, it was $2.5 million from the Nexus Venture Capital. It was funded. And now the company started rising. Its value marketing, it started rising very rapidly. It was growing. It was everyone's intention towards it increasing. People left some of his colleagues left their schools, colleges to join him. They found it as a great opportunity to work with him. And then the time comes about in the June of the 2014, it was June. It was funded $18 million. And again, after 6 months, I think in the December, it was funded by $19 million by the SoftBank and the others. But this was the last cup of the tea of this company. Now the things was going to be changed from here. But let us talk about the value of the company. The company was growing very fast. It was really marketing very good. It beaten many great companies like Makaan.com, India's Property, and it was rising very rapidly. Its market value increased to 1,500 total evaluation of the company was that time. And total share of the investors were, I think it was about 800 crore. And the employees working in it was 700 employees. And each day they were getting active users as of 1 lakh. So it was really a great achievement within a few years. Just the company started in the 2012. And in the 2014, it was rising very rapidly in the December. But the things started changing from here. Things got to drastic turn. The co-founder, that was Advitya Sharma, was caught up by the police, Mumbai police, because of his reckless driving, and 2 of his colleagues was lost their life in that accident. So from there, the Aditya Sharma was changed his way from the. And the second thing was about, there was a dispute between the Rahul Yadav and the managing director of Sequoia company, that was Shailendra Singh. A company is the largest venture capital firms, Sequoia company. Their mail got leaked. It was about the Sequoia company's managing director, that is Shailendra Singh. He offered some job to the employee of the housing.com. And after knowing, when the Rahul Yadav came to know about it, he got annoyed. He got angry that why he's doing this thing. So he mailed and directly clearly written something, and publicly he published everything. It was, if you will mess with my country, with my startup or with my company, it will be your end. Something, it was a very hard word he used. And from there, the perception of the people towards the company, of the medias, got changes. They started criticizing it, but he was not aware of, he was not worrying about such things. He was very clear. He have something very aggressive, just I can say he's a bit aggressive type of person, Rahul Yadav. He don't listen others. This was his, I think, major backdrop. And after publishing this email, the Times Group give a legal notice to the housing.com, and which losses 100 crores. And from there, the decline of the company started. Let us see what was the relation between the investors and the Rahul Yadav. Actually, the investor plays a very major role in someone's startups from the beginning to the last. They are very guiding. They are supporting at every place. And every founder do discuss with their problems with them. They together come out with a solution with the problems. But the thing was not going well. I came to heard from some interview by the Rahul Yadav. But what we listen from the people, if we come to know about something like we heard about the mail, we thought that it is about using hard words, which is not good for someone to be a founder of the company. But he mentioned that it's very common for them. Every day they used to talk in this way only, this manner. But for the outside people of the company, it seems to be a problem for the company. But it's not like that. So he used some slang, means some problems happens between them. The investor doesn't like him, started hating or something, ignoring him. There is some incident happens by which the fall of the startups began. That was first was 700 valued company turns into 7 crore valuation due to only because of the delay in the investor's decision. He asked to the investors to take a quick decision on the whatever he was proposing for buying a new company to merge with someone's company whose value in the initial was 7 crore. But they delayed, and when the time come to buy, the valuation of the company increased to 17 crore, which frustrated the Rahul Yadav, and he got angry on the investors. From there, the relationship started becoming worse between them. And there is some second incident, that is party. Actually, there was organized one party, and the estimated bill of the party was by Rahul Yadav was 60 lakh. But when the time come to pay the bill payment, it raises to 90 lakh. And this also created a problem for the investor. They annoyed on him. And here we can think of one thing, that he has some lack of financial expertise in the Rahul Yadav, I think so. But he haven't accepted it. And when the time come of 2015 in the February, Rahul resigned from the CEO of the company. And from there, the downfall of the company began. The valuation of the company was 1500 crore, but very soon it drawn back to the 450 crores. Everything got changed. He left the job, things changes. Now the company was handed over to the PropTiger. Still it is running, but it is under the PropTiger. It's not, many investors came new, many founders came to join to raise the company, but they were unsuccessful. He was visionary. He has some vision with that company. But when he came out of the company fell down totally. It's not that much working now. But he did not give up. Still, he have the same confidence. He's working on it. He has mentioned one thing, that when I look back, I do feel things that could have been done differently. I was working like machine, and that was extremely stressed today. I think I'm more mature and seeing the world with a different angle. I'm currently working on 3 to 4 things. I will make comeback very soon. So let us hope for the best. He will come back. From here, we learn many things about the co-founder, the relation, we must know about what to do, what is the speciality in the founders or the entrepreneur who is going to lead the team. Never take shit from anyone. Do not take someone's words very personally. Ignore it if it is possible. Have a patience with that. No publicity is bad publicity. No money is big money. No people are big. no dreams are big, no fun is greater than making fun of others. Act responsibly so as to look up to rather than being self-proclaimed genius. Sometimes even the brilliant fail when ego take over. And this was the major problem of the Rahul Yadav. He was a bit egoist person. Value all the stakeholders and treat them with dignity. Investors have a share. They have a power to take the decision, to contribute in the decision. Every founder must respect their dignity, have to work together, discuss their problem with them, and at last keep patience. Do not get frustrated. Do not lose your hope. Thank you. But at last, I have written one quote, that is, why to stop if you know how to walk? Why to walk if you know how to run? Why to run if you know how to fly? Just think big, dream big, and never give up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raju. Now, Sadia Samrin is going to give her presentation on a entrepreneur. Sadia, are you available?
Yes, ma'am. Can you see my presentation? Hello.
Yes, Sadia, you are audible, ma.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah.
You can go
Good
ahead.
evening, everyone. I'm Sadia Samreen. I'm from second year AC. On this occasion of World Entrepreneurs Day, I'm here to talk about a woman entrepreneur who was back then fired from her job and now established her own hair care kingdom. Any guesses who is she? She is Susmita Gowda, founder of Miraki Hair. She is an actress who later turned out to be an entrepreneur. She, along with her friend Gautami, started a hair care brand, Miraki, and got huge success in it. And then she expanded her business to another brand, Entire's luxury healthcare and wellness brand. She got featured in many newspaper articles. Susmita Gowda is a Kannada actress and founder of Miraki Hair Care. She is born in Mysore. She has graduated masters from MS Ramaiah College. She also took part in Miss South India 2017 to represent Karnataka. And here it is, she is Susmita Gowda. And before, she was terminated from a company in which she was working because she didn't reach monthly target. And this is co-founder of Miraki Hair Care, Gautami Balraj. As most of the people are shifting towards organic products, everyone are thinking about safety, even in food, hair care, skincare, everywhere. Her established brand Miraki Hair Care, which is entirely organic, witnessed massive growth and popularity, especially in this pandemic. Susmita invested her time in creating various hair care products. At the start, she had only one product. Within 2 years, she expanded that to 7 products, which is a huge development. Never give up has always been her mantra. At the same time, she feels humbled to share her success story with others and encourage other young entrepreneurs to work towards achieving their dreams. Their mission is to become a household name for churning out new recipes. As we can see the development from 1 to 2 in just 2 years. Today, Miraki stands out as a successful brand in South India. Not only in South India, all over India is a very huge success in the field of hair care and has expanded its market internationally. How did Miraki start? When she lost her job, she was struggling for money. Then she got this idea of a hair oil which her mother used to apply, which is the ancestral recipe of their family. Then she got this idea. She started this company, Miraki. Obviously, everyone will face some struggles when when they start. As she was building the product from the start, most people wanted the recipe. They are not interested to invest in her idea, but instead they are they want to buy her idea. There's that there were a lot of competitors because of whom she came up with more ideas. What are the initial steps to be taken care of? Having correct vision is more important. Having monthly targets to finish, one can change the plan, but not change the goal. Susmita says. And also, if you are passionate about your goal and you must be consistently working throughout it, you will be definitely successful. This whole pandemic has been an eye opener to the world, and Susmita has successfully able to turn this crisis into a big opportunity, making her brand a huge success. She not only grown financially, but also got recognition because she believed that customers are strength. She didn't make customers lose belief. She always provided original product. Note from Mr. Smita. When you are going to start something, don't expect anything. Just do it with your heart and soul. If you are having high expectations, you are not going to be satisfied with anything you get. But having expectations is good, but you must be satisfied with whatever you get. Finally, to succeed, just be focused. At the same time, you must also give yourself some time for your mental health, physical health, and for your family everywhere. To be sustainable, give yourself some time. Thank you. This is from my side.
Thank you, Sadia, for your presentations. Now, Ritvik, you can present your presentation.
Thank you, Utkarsh. And now, before I start my presentation, I just want to ask this. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll be starting my presentation. Okay, is this visible?
This is the
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay. So good evening, everyone. I'm Ritvik G. I'm currently a student of second year in CSE department. Today, today is the series one of entrepreneurship of the entrepreneurship series, and today I've chosen to speak about Aadar Poonawalla. Now, Aadar Poonawalla may not be a very common name when it comes to entrepreneurship. In fact, many people do not even consider him as an entrepreneur. But first, I would like to distinguish between an innovator and an entrepreneur, which our honorable director sir already did. I just want to rephrase what he just said. Innovation and entrepreneurship is just not the same thing. Entrepreneurship involves way more than innovation. Innovation is just a part of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship includes creating of new ideas, implementation, and the successful running of any business, right? If a business failed after creating it, the person may still not be called as an entrepreneur. At the same time, the person may not have invented anything new to be called as an entrepreneur. So, with this motive, I'm going to start ahead and talk about Adar Poonawalla. Born on 14th Jan 1981, he is the son of Cyrus S. Poonawalla. Cyrus S. Poonawalla is the founder of Serum Institute of India, one of India's first completely medical dedicated institutes that was ever created in the year 1966. 1966, this was as close to the independence as possible. When India was uprising, this was formed. And Adar Poonawalla is the son of Cyrus and has been the CEO of the company from 2011. Now, most of you might be thinking, why am I talking about him when he's not even an entrepreneur? But entrepreneurship is something which also means management. And his presence during COVID-19 has not just influenced India, but the world as a whole. For people who may not know this, Covishield vaccine has been developed, created, manufactured, and distributed around by the Serum Institute of India itself, one of the highest vaccination productions ever till date. Now, this is a picture of Adar Poonawalla with his father receiving a medal from the Asian Entrepreneurship Cells. Basically, this is an Asian award committee that awards people of high entrepreneurship levels or management. This is just a small picture to show you how exactly he looks. So the very basic question comes, why him? Out of all entrepreneurs that are ever present, why did I choose him out of everyone that is there? Especially India is a country that has entrepreneurs booming everywhere. See, as I've already spoken about this before, entrepreneurship involves management, and he did something which nobody else could ever achieve, at least in my perspective, and that is management during pressure. Why do we all like Dhoni? A simple question to ask. Why do we all like Dhoni? Why don't we give chances to any other cricket players? Why don't we like other cricket players as much as Dhoni? Because Dhoni is called Captain Cool for a reason. He plays during the highest pressure. When there is pressure on the team, you can trust on two people, that is Dhoni and Virat Kohli. And he is the Dhoni of the vaccine drive that happened. And here are the facts. Vaccines which were produced for COVID-19, the deadliest virus ever till date, has been streamlined. Like, this may not be much of an issue for you to think, but if you imagine, you were just a lab before. You had nothing. You never had such an infrastructure to begin with. But now you have the demand of over 7 billion people for vaccines. Each of them need to get at least 2 doses, which means 14 billion people. Now, that is a huge number. Within just few months, they reached the capacity of 5,000 units of vaccines per minute. Imagine this. Per minute, they're producing 5,000 doses of vaccines. This is an industrial scale. Now, this is one of the most difficult part to ever do in any company. That is, take it from a level where it is just a startup, working as a startup or a startup, to an industrial scale. And now the most achieving part here is the price of the vaccine, because before Covishield was introduced, the only vaccines that were available and had good efficacy rate were Pfizer. and other Russian vaccine, which, if I'm not wrong, is called Sputnik. Now, Pfizer, which was very famously spread across the world, had a price of around $21. $19 to $21 was its price per dose. Now, if you're doing the conversion, it's over 1,400 rupees. How can any common Indian afford 1,400 rupees of vaccine? Not just one, but two, which comes close to 3,000 rupees. These people, they achieved a level where the price has been reduced to 200 rupees per dose. This is the same thing which all Indians do. If there is anything expensive, overpriced, just innovate and bring it down. And this is one of the most achieving characters that I've ever seen. Managing his school, like whenever governments were pressurizing him to make harsh decisions, he stuck to his motive. He never let anyone, any government influence him or pressurize him to doing something else, right? This is something which I really am very keen on learning, managing under pressure, time management, and proper managing skills and calmful and peacefulness of the brain let this happen. Right. Now, because of this, the many developing and underdeveloped countries are now getting vaccinated. Just imagine, like, what would have happened if if this innovation never took place, if Covishield never came out? You will be left out with Sputnik and other these corporations which are trying to profit off at this moment, right? So each price, if you're taking $42, India is far more of a developed country in comparison to the other countries that are existing. Like if you take example of Africa, almost majority of it is below India's grade of purchase. Now, because of this Covishield, many of them are getting vaccinated, and I'm really happy to say I've chosen Adir Poonawalla as my man. Thank you, and all the information what I've spoken, and if you need more information about him, can be found on his direct website, adirpoonawalla.com. Please do visit it. Please do check how it is, and do let me know. Thank you.
Alok, are you available? Alok is the last presenter for the day. Kindly patiently bear him. We are going to have a last speaker for today. Alok Raj.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you are audible.
Hello.
Can you please switch on your video and Alok?
Alok Raj, please share your video.
Hello. I'm ma'am.
Alok, the problem is you might be using two devices, no? Kindly log out from one device.
1 minute. Yeah, then Hello?
Now I think everything is fine. Hello.
yeah, ma'am.
Please carry on with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Hello and good evening to all. My name is Alok Raj, and I had today on the occasion of World Entrepreneur Day I had opportunity to give a presentation on the Sunil Bharti Mittal, a legendary entrepreneur. He is co-chair of the World Economic Forum on Africa. He is the founder and the chairman of Bharti Enterprises. 3rd October 1957 in Punjab. Renowned billionaire, entrepreneur, philanthropist, the founder and the chairperson of Bharti Enterprises was born. He earned his bachelor degree of Arts and Science from Punjab University. He came a long way from making bicycle as a teenager. Sunil Bharti Mittal, chairman and the group managing director, has at the age of 43 created a telecom giant in India. Sunil is the minister of business. India's leading telecom company has been at the technology and has revolutionized the telecommunication, brand products and the services. The company has grown leaps and bounds of its humble beginning in 1970s. Today, Bharti Airtel has the largest customer base in India, with alliance with many companies such as Vodafone and Singletel. His early life. Sunil Mittal was born in Ludhiana, Punjab. His father Satyapal Mittal was a member of parliament. He first joined the Vanberg Ellen School in Mysore. Later, he joined Sindhia School at Gwalior, and he graduated in 1976 from Punjab University with his bachelor's degree in Science and Arts, for which he studied Arya College for Boys in Ludhiana. Later, in 1992, his father due to cardiac arrest. He has won numerous awards, which includes Transforming India Leader, TV Business Leader Award 2000, GSMA Chairperson Award 2008, Padma Bhushan in 2007 from President of India, Asia Businessman Year of the Year are some awards among the many honors of his. It was also working towards educating India through the Bharti Foundation, the philanthropic arm of Bharti Enterprises. The foundation has established around 254 schools, which is serving over 45,000 rural children, which is free of cost. Other programs of the foundation making considerable impact among the unprivileged section. He is also opening the academic. He is also opening academy. He started his first business in 1976 at the age of 18 with a capital he borrowed from his father. His business was to make the bicycle parts. In 1980, he sold his bicycle of the Ford mobile. He manufactured telephones in India. He was the first entrepreneur to identify the mobile telecom business as a major growth area, and he launched it in services in Delhi. Bharti Airtel, India's leading integrated telecom company, has been at the front of the telecommunication and has transformed the telecom sector with its world-class services based on latest technologies. Bharti has been a pioneering force in the telecom sector and today enjoys a strong nationwide presence. With this, thank you so much.
I hope Alok is facing
Hello?
some technical problems.
Ma'am, as I'm not audible, ma'am.
Yeah, you are not audible, and in fact, your voice was completely lagging.
Ma'am, I think
So
I'm
I
having network
feel
issue, ma'am.
like you have a lot of technical problems from your end too. So Alok,
Yeah.
kindly don't mind because we are continuing the session from past more than 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay, ma'am. Yeah, okay, ma'am.
It was nice presentation, and better don't waste the precious time of eminent people over here and also the student participants.
Yeah,
that
that's
fine,
okay,
Alok?
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. With due respect for all the faculty members who were available over here for the session, thank you for your patient time, sir, and giving us your precious time for our listening to our student views, and in fact, making this event with good number of participations. And also for all the student members, we are expecting the same type of good participation from you. We are having lot many events which are going to be organized from ourselves, and for this 3 days continuous respective 3 days also, if you can participate as an audience or participate in the events, we are very happy for you. And try to participate and make the success. It is because of you people who participate. Every success of an event, whatever efforts we'll put for an event, comes as an outcome with your participation. And we all thank all the faculty participants and also the student participants on behalf of our NIT Andhra Pradesh Innovative and Institution Council, Institution Innovation Council, and E&I from School of Humanities and Management. And we are very thankful to our Honorable Director, sir, who has given us a very good opportunity, and in fact, for giving us his valuable time for the inaugural event. And every day the program is being scheduled from today to 28th between 5:30 to 6:30 with various programs. So kindly participate. And if you have any queries related to it, you can get back to us. Thank you all for your participation. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Dr. Premlata. Actually, in fact, I would like to congratulate Gayatri, then Raju Yadav, Sadhya, and then Ritvik, and then Akraj. Within a very short notice, you have given a wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. And then, so I request you to encourage your co-fellows or friends to participate in this kind of events. So thank you, and so I give it to Dr. Premlata back to you.
I personally thank Dr. Shankar Peddapati, Dr. V. Sandeep sir, Dr. G.B. Videsh Kumar sir, and Dr. Anil Kumar Gilawat, faculty members, and all the student participants for your kind presence for this event. Thank you. We are expecting the same sort of participation. We'll wind off for today. Thank you all.